What's up, Ford? I've come here to Panama City Beach, the place from which you and I both are from, the shores from which we sprang, if you will, to ask this question. How do you feel about origin stories? These days, a lot of times when we're talking about origin stories, we're talking about comic book movies, right? Where did this hero come from? Like, oh my gosh, we don't want to see another Superman origin story. But, you know, if we never knew Superman's origin story, we'd be really into it, right? We'd want to know. It's just that it's been done to death, so now we don't want to hear about it. I don't know how I feel about origin stories. Usually it's like, I think I want to know where characters have come from, but I'm not sure if I should know. You know, like it might ruin it for me. Of course, there's the ultimate example of that. This story was supposed to be awesome. I mean, look at this picture. This was going to be great, and of course, it was terrible. It's not just that the prequels were a mistake, it's that the fan theories and ideas of Darth Vader's origin were better than the one that we actually got from the creator of Star Wars, right? And that's really the point. Wouldn't it have been better if we could have imagined it? If we could have lived in our own fantasy world of where he came from? Would that not have been better? I mean, in this case, in the case of the prequels, yeah, it would have been better. When we think about origin, there's also the question of like, where did the author come from? Where did the creator come from? Does knowing his or her origin help you to understand the art that he or she makes? Now, there's a debate in literary criticism about this. T.S. Eliot very famously said, look, if you need to know where the author's from, then his work or her work is not as good. Right? Which is ironic because, you know, in Eliot's poetry, if you know he took part in World War II, then you understand his imagery a lot better. So I think I tend to disagree with Eliot in this regard, but I go back and forth. And what about on YouTube? You know, does it matter if you know that I came from Panama City? Does that help you appreciate what I make? When people consider the work of the surfing violinist, do you think it changes the way they view your work if they know, you know, how you learn to surf? Adult swimming lessons! Sometimes I like origin stories, sometimes I hate them. I'm fascinated by the concept and I'd like to know your thoughts. Pen pals chime in as well. What do you think of origin stories?